100 men attack a single gorilla. Do these guys stand any chance of survival against one of the jungle's greatest symbols of strength? From myths to living truths, gorillas, among the most prominent creatures of the African rainforest ecosystem, have long evoked both curiosity and deep misunderstandings in human perception. With their massive physique, stern face, and calm gait, this primate species was often given evocative nicknames such as forest man or even beast in early exploration stories. However, behind that thick fur and deep gaze is an emotionally rich, intelligent creature possessing a social life far more complex than its appearance, which might only suggest physical strength. Careful observation of gorillas not only helps us understand more about one of humankind's closest evolutionary relatives, but also opens up a different perspective on the combination of instinct and adaptive intelligence. Join your planet as we explore the life of this powerful creature to find the answer. Unlike what some people still think, gorilla is not just a name for a single individual. In reality, this is the name of a large primate genus, divided into two main species, the western gorilla and the eastern gorilla. Each species is further divided into two subspecies, creating a total of 4 official groups. Among these, the mountain gorilla is the most notable name, often mentioned not only because of its impressive appearance with thick black fur like a winter coat, but also because of its alarming rarity in the wild. This classification is not just for academic purposes. Each gorilla species and subspecies have distinct biological characteristics, behavior, and habitat. Clearly understanding these classification boundaries helps scientists develop accurate and appropriate conservation strategies. Indeed, if you ever thought that all gorillas are the same, then perhaps you also once thought that all types of pasta are spaghetti, a comparison that isn't entirely wrong, but clearly lacks depth. Far from the highly fictionalized images in action movies where gorillas become mutant warriors or giant beasts climbing skyscrapers, the reality shows that they are humble inhabitants of tropical rainforests and high-altitude mountain regions in Africa. Gorillas are found in countries such as Rwanda, Uganda, Gabon, Cameroon, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Each region is associated with a specific species or subspecies. Western gorillas prefer humid lowland forests, while eastern gorilla individuals, especially mountain gorillas, choose to live in high mountain areas where the air is thin and the fog is dense almost year-round. Notably, the mountain gorilla is the only primate species that lives stably at altitudes up to 4.0 meters, an altitude equivalent to majestic peaks like Fansipan. This very fact makes keeping them in zoo conditions difficult, not because they are picky, but because their physiology has completely adapted to the cold, low-oxygen, high-altitude mountain environment. Also, thanks to their thick, wool blanket-like fur and their less active nature when not necessary, they live a rather peaceful life in the misty forest. Perhaps when you encounter a mountain gorilla sitting motionless in the forest, looking as if it's meditating amidst vast nature, it's just drowsy after a breakfast consisting entirely of leaves and fiber-rich young stems. Despite their large size, with adult males capable of being as tall as 1.8 meters and weighing nearly 200 kilograms, gorillas are not a species that favors violence. On the contrary, they are one of the calmest and most gentle primate species. They do not hunt prey, do not attack each other's territory, and almost always try to avoid conflict. The gorilla diet is mainly plant-based, from leaves and soft stems to ripe fruit. In some rare cases, they may also eat ants or termites to supplement protein, but they do not tend to eat the meat of other animals, unlike some other primate species. The social life of gorillas is a particularly noteworthy aspect. They live in groups, with member numbers ranging from 5 to 30 individuals. Each group is led by an adult male with a silver back, a physical characteristic that earns him the same name. This leader not only acts as the decision-maker, but is also the protector of the entire group against outside threats, the mediator in internal conflicts, and, on some challenging days, might even become an unwilling babysitter. The silverback's presence brings order and a feeling of security to the whole group, a leadership model worth studying from the perspective of community management. Gorillas dislike busy environments, They inhabit areas of dense forest and challenging terrain. The fewer humans visit, the more secure they feel. This is also why studying this species requires patience akin to meditation. Many biologists must camp in the forest for weeks, maintain absolute silence, and even walk on their tiptoes just to approach closely enough without startling them. With extremely sensitive hearing, just a slight sound can cause the entire gorilla group to disappear into the deep forest as though they were never there. More interestingly, gorilla groups are very loyal to their territory. They move within a range of 5 to 30 square kilometers and rarely encroach upon the territory of other groups. If they sense the presence of neighbors, gorillas will quietly adjust their path, without growling, without fighting. If we imagine the forest as an ecological apartment complex, then gorillas are certainly the ideal type of neighbor, reserved, respecting private space, and not making noise at night. It's noteworthy that gorillas are exclusively a biological feature of the African continent. Unlike orangutans that live in Southeast Asia or some monkey species endemic to Latin America, gorillas are only present in Africa and cannot be found in the wild anywhere else. Perhaps because of this, every time someone posts photos online of gorillas swimming in the Amazon, the research community can only sigh, because the reality is that gorillas cannot swim. Unlike some primate species capable of moving through the water, gorillas usually stay away from large rivers and streams, and if they encounter heavy rain, they even try to avoid the water as if their hair has just been carefully groomed. The history of discovering the gorilla species was full of twists and turns. Before the 19th century, gorillas were considered legendary creatures, an oral legend among explorers about hairy creatures, half human, half beast, living deep in the African rainforests. It wasn't until clear evidence like bone specimens, skins, and later photographs were brought back to Europe that gorillas officially stepped out of the shadow of legend to become a recognized part of the modern biological world. The name gorilla originates from an ancient Greek account by the explorer Hanno, who once described a tribe of hairy female warriors in West Africa called gorillae. Although somewhat bizarre, this name ultimately became the official designation for this giant primate species. Nowadays, as humankind gradually gains a deeper understanding of nature and ecology, gorillas are no longer considered strangers or vague threats in the deep forest. They are recognized as highly social creatures, possessing developed intelligence, and are a symbol of serenity in a volatile world. From the image of the forest man to a valuable biological symbol, the gorilla's journey is a vivid testament to the evolution not only biologically, but also in humankind's perception of the creatures that share this planet. Nature's ultimate survival design. In the diverse and rich world of primate species, gorillas stand out not only for their giant size, but also thanks to subtle anatomical features and superior biological adaptability, helping them survive and thrive in the vast and challenging tropical rainforests of Africa. Gorillas' muscular strength is truly something we cannot help but admire. A healthy adult male can easily lift 10 times his body weight, a figure that far exceeds many other mammal species. Their dense muscles with a special fiber structure are not the product of training sessions under the neon lights of some green forest gym, but are the result of millions of years of evolution, serving for climbing, fighting to protect the troop, as well as powerfully demonstrating dominance through impressive chest-beating display. Truly the heavyweight bodyguards of the rainforest ecosystem. Gorillas' teeth are also an unignorable factor when mentioning their unique anatomy. Their canines, which can be up to 5 centimeters long in adult males, do not simply serve for eating, but also act as a powerful language weapon, a vivid communication tool in the complex world of primates. Although their appearance sometimes makes people think they are fierce warriors, gorillas rarely use their canines for actual attacks. Instead, they use them to display strength, warn enemies, and maintain peace within the troop, a strategy no different from using a VIP pass to be respected and avoid unnecessary altercations. Along with that strength, gorillas' skeletal system possesses a majestic and incredibly flexible appearance. Their large, strong bones, especially in the shoulders and arms, not only help them withstand their enormous weight, but also provide the necessary flexibility for climbing and moving agilely through the dense canopy. Specifically, gorillas' hands, with their long and flexible thumbs, can grip precisely like human hands, demonstrating a perfect adaptation, helping them handle objects, skillfully pick food, and support their diverse life under the old forest canopy. This harmonious combination of strength and dexterity creates a highly effective survival machine in the difficult environment of the old forest. Gorillas' respiratory and circulatory systems are also extremely optimized to meet the demands of high-intensity activity. Their lungs have a large capacity, allowing for an abundant supply of oxygen to maintain endurance when climbing or fleeing from danger. A gorilla's heart can increase its beat up to 2 or 3 times during strenuous activity, comparable to a professional marathon runner, but without needing expensive sports diets like humans. This shows a special adaptation, helping gorillas maintain abundant energy without complex energy supplementation, very suitable for their wild lifestyle. The thick and soft fur coat covering their entire body not only serves to keep them warm in the cool, humid climate of the mountainous forests, but also acts as a natural armor against rain and unwanted collisions. Fur color also changes with age and sex, with young individuals typically having shiny black fur, while adult silverbacks are distinguished by their silverback, a clear sign of status and strength within the troop. Besides keeping warm and protecting their skin, the fur also helps reduce the risk of injury from thorns or sharp branches, making gorillas truly highly effective warriors in biological armor in their natural habitat. Gorillas' skulls are sturdily built with thick bone plates, especially in the forehead and jaw area, creating a natural helmet protecting the brain during impacts or when demonstrating strength through clashes with conspecifics. This strong skeletal structure, combined with their massive muscular strength, turns gorillas into an opponent that all forest creatures fear and is the reason why confrontation with them is not a wise idea at all. Gorillas' feet also demonstrate an intelligent and subtle adaptation. Their foot thumbs can oppose the other toes similar to their hands, helping them grip branches tightly as well as move sturdily on diverse ground terrain. This structure is not only optimized for climbing, but also allows gorillas to move agilely, blending the ability to walk on the ground and climb trees, providing strong evidence for the nickname half-human. Inside their digestive system, gorillas possess an extremely special system for processing their diet consisting primarily of tough leaves, a food source that is difficult for many other species to digest. Symbiotic microorganisms in their gut play an important role in breaking down cellulose, helping convert leaves into essential nutrients to maintain energy, and supporting the development of huge muscles, an indispensable biological adjustment for adaptation to a challenging but nutrient-poor habitat. Gorillas' characteristic mode of locomotion is called knuckle walking, meaning walking on their fists. Instead of placing their entire palm on the ground like many other animals, they use their knuckles to bear weight, both protecting their fingertips from injury and maintaining the flexibility necessary for climbing and gripping food. This is a sophisticated evolutionary solution, demonstrating perfect adaptation for life, both on the ground and in trees, making gorillas one of the most versatile athletes among primates. Finally, despite possessing the largest brain and most superior intelligence among primates besides humans, gorillas do not use their intelligence to invent technology or manufacture complex tools like some other species. Instead, their intelligence is focused on survival ability, social communication, and handling practical situations in their complex habitat. This helps gorillas maintain a stable troop structure, raise young, and develop diverse social relationships, proving that their huge brain is truly the operating mastermind for an entire challenging and surprising green forest society. From their extraordinary muscular strength, powerful teeth, and flexible skeleton, to their complex and special physiological systems, gorillas emerge as a comprehensive biological picture of perfect adaptation to their habitat. The harmonious combination of muscular strength, incredible flexibility, and sharp intelligence not only makes them one of the most special and fascinating primates on the planet, but also serves as a profound testament to the evolutionary process and the art of survival amidst harsh, wild nature. And don't forget, despite their mighty and solemn appearance, gorillas are sometimes also endearingly goofy, making you want to hug them immediately. 1 versus 100. So, can all this fascinating information answer the question for the battle of 1 gorilla versus 100 men? Let's analyze it thoroughly with your planet. At first glance, this seems like a topic for a heavy-duty survival game or the script for an action movie like King Kong, Symphony of Bloody Noses. But strangely, this question has exploded across many social media platforms. It stirs up the imagination and primal instinct. The confrontation between nature's strongest individual and a weaker but numerous collective, carrying echoes of the hunter-gatherer era, when humans didn't have guns but already knew how to use stone-throwing tactics and teammates as bait. Instead of dismissing it as a joke, let's temporarily get serious, as if hosting an extended version of a Discovery show, with some spicier commentary. Behind this silly question is a surprising metaphor about evolutionary history. The contest between pure muscular strength and strategic coordination, between instinctive reflexes and organizational ability. And this time, we are not analyzing the tactics of hyenas, nor tracking the migration of antelopes. We will observe a gorilla as big as a 6-compartment refrigerator, facing off against 100 men who have likely fought bosses primarily on PlayStation. Let's start with our main character, the adult male gorilla often called a silverback, because of the patch of silver-colored fur running along his back, as if wearing a silver cloak in the forest. This animal species is not just a symbol of the African rainforest, but is also one of the creatures with the most impressive natural mechanical strength ever recorded. With an average weight of around 160 to 227 kilograms, and standing up to 1.8 meters tall when upright, a silverback possesses muscles so dense that bodybuilders might feel inferior just after a single glance. The structure of gorilla's shoulder and arm bones is optimally designed for climbing and powerful punching, 2 core survival skills in the deep forest. According to some comparative physiology studies, a healthy gorilla can lift weights equivalent to 10 times its body weight, meaning around 800 to 1,000 kg. This far exceeds the capability of any Olympic athlete. Its punch can be equivalent to 20 times the average human punch, and with a bite force up to 300 pounds per square inch, exceeding even leopards and alligators. Its teeth, although primarily designed for chewing plants, can absolutely handle human bones like chewing lotus root. Regarding speed, despite its massive appearance and hunched gait, a gorilla can still charge at a speed of up to 40 kilometers per hour for short bursts, fast enough to catch up with a person running away in panic across a mat of dry leaves. Not just strong and fast, it is also extremely enduring. Observational studies in nature show that gorillas can maintain heavy physical activity for many hours, as long as there is enough rest time between bursts of power. If compared to machinery, a silverback is precisely a biological tank armored with flesh and sinew. However, don't let their fierce appearance fool you. Gorillas are not a soulless killing machine. Rather, they are highly social animals, living in groups of 5 to over 30 individuals, with an adult male as the leader. They are capable of using simple tools, like branches to check water depth, and expressing diverse emotions: joy, anxiety, sadness, and even annoyance when bothered while eating leaves. Some individuals raised in research environments can even learn basic American Sign Language, an achievement that, a few YouTube commenters still haven't achieved. Nevertheless, if cornered, a silverback will not hesitate to launch a counterattack. Clashes between males in the group usually last less than a minute but can cause serious injury. This means that if a gorilla individual sees itself surrounded by 100 humans who are yelling and closing in, it will automatically switch to a state of extreme defense, and at that moment, there is nothing gentle left. As for the opposing side, 100 unarmed men? It sounds like an absolutely overwhelming force. But remember that the capability of each individual in this collective can range from sitting at a computer 12 hours a day to once doing high school Muay Thai. The average punch force of an adult human ranges around 500 to 600 newtons, equivalent to the kick of a young horse. But to take down a creature with muscle density like wet concrete and skin twice as thick as humans, then even if you summoned the entire national bodybuilding force, it wouldn't be easy at all. However, humans have an unrivaled trump card: the ability to cooperate in an organized manner. This very factor has helped Homo sapiens become the dominant species, despite starting with no fangs, thick fur, or superior senses. If 100 people know how to coordinate, a slightly optimistic assumption, then they could apply role assignment tactics, some to distract, some to immobilize the limbs, some to use body weight to exert continuous pressure on the gorilla, forcing it to lose energy and be unable to counterattack effectively. The most feasible strategy have 3 steps: feint, close in, overwhelm. We need a small group acts as bait in front, while another group tries to close in from the sides or behind. A few people could climb onto the gorilla's back, while others exert pressure from the legs and arms, immobilizing its movement. It might take 30 to 40 people simultaneously exerting mechanical pressure to hold down a struggling silverback. The rest could pray. However, to be fair, in the initial phase of the engagement, the gorilla is entirely capable of causing widespread casualties. With quick reflexes, long reach, and tremendous hitting force, it can take down the first 10 to 20 people in an instant. And if you are the 21st person, perhaps you will start doubting the entire initial plan. Nevertheless, the gorilla's weakness lies in the fact that, despite being strong, it does not have the ability to recover as quickly as humans. Gorillas' thermoregulation system and ability to sweat are very poor compared to Homo sapiens, a reason why humans can run endurance for hours, while gorillas can only withstand high intensity for short periods. If the fight is prolonged, humans will have the advantage in terms of stamina and quick adaptability. Ultimately, the question remains: who will win? If all 100 people act based on individual instinct, panicking, scattering, and being overly confident, then the result could be a quick massacre. But if they act as an organized unit, utilizing the strength of the collective, then in theory, a victory is achievable. Although accompanied by many injuries, broken bones, and some people losing faith in sports in general. And while the internet continues to spread memes about this improbable confrontation, we can draw a small lesson whose meaning is not small. Instinct is strong, but organization, even humility, can overcome even a primal force. And if one day you are stuck between a gorilla and 99 other men, be quick on your feet or quick-witted enough to find someone to carry you out of the dangerous place.